Hello everyone, this is Akam Suman here. Now we are going to discuss involute profile. In the last topic, we have discussed the law of gearing. For any body to be a gear, law of gearing must be satisfied. And what is the law of gearing? That you have to know that the line of action must always pass through the pitch point, that is fixed point on a line joining the center of rotation of circle. Okay, so that was the law of gearing. So for any body to be a gear, the law of gearing must be satisfied. In according to law of gearing, we have classified the conjugate profile. Conjugate profile means the profile of gears. The conjugate profiles having two types. The first is involute and the second is conjugate. First we will discuss involute profile. Our all the discussion will be on the involute profile when in the gear chapters. Whatever be the type of gear we are going to study, the profile for the gear would be involute profile. Okay, so what is the involute profile of gear? You must understand that this is by nature conjugate, because this is a conjugate profile, so we can say this is by nature conjugate. By nature conjugate. What is the definition of involute profile? See, it is a locus of a point. I'm going to write here. It is a locus of a point on a line. It is a locus of a point on a line. Locus of a point on a line. On a line which passes, which on a line, it is a locus of a point on a line which rolls, which is in rolling condition, which rolls without slipping on a fixed circle, without slipping on a fixed circle. So this is the definition of the involute profile. Okay, it is a locus of a point on a line which rolls without slipping on a fixed circle. So I'm going to draw here a circle like that. This is a fixed circle. That is the fixed circle. Okay, now what is saying? The locus of a point on a line. So here I'm going to consider a line which rolls without slipping on a fixed circle. If it rolls without slipping, it would be like that. It would be like that. It is going to be in a rolling condition without slipping. Okay, are you getting my point? So basically this is a line which roll without slipping on a fixed circle, but involute profile is the locus of a point. That means you can consider any point on that line, and the locus, whatever be the locus of that point on a line, that would be the involute profile. So this would be like that and like that. So when you draw, when you meet them points, when you meet these points, you will get the involute profile like that. So if this is A, this is A1 and this is A2. Okay, this is a one single line which is in rolling condition on a fixed circle. Okay, this is a fixed circle, and in the gear, fixed circle is known as base circle. What I'm going to say, this is also known as base circle of the gear. Base circle. Okay, so here you can say this is the A1 and A2. Okay, and you can consider A3 like that. Now we will consider the next circle in order to understand the concept behind the involute profile and what is the role of the base circle in the involute profile. So this is the fixed circle. So this is the base circle, and I'm going to draw the line which is in rolling condition. It can be like that, yes or no? Okay, now this is A, this is A1 this is A2. Okay, now I'm going to consider the point. There will be the involute profile when these points are meet to each other. Okay, so this would be the, since this is an involute profile, I have drawn with a blue color, and this is a line which is in a rolling condition, and this is a fixed circle. So there will be a point P1, that is the contact point, and this is the point P2. Okay, now see here, I'm saying that AP1 here, that is AP1, that is AP1. You can consider this point P here also. So that is AP1 and PP1, P1 P2, sorry, P1 P2, and like that AP1 P1 P2, these all are tends to 0. That means it is differential. This is differential. Okay, now arc, you can see arc AP1, that is the arc AP1 and A1 P1. So arc AP1, since this is a tends to 0, so we can say AP1 is equal to A1 P1. Okay, AP A1 P2 is equal to A2 P2. Are you getting my point? Similar like that. So I'm going to consider the small part of that profile. Okay, that is like that. This would be perpendicular. When you draw the tangent to the base circle, that would be the perpendicular line. Okay, this would be the perpendicular, and that would be the perpendicular. So I'm going to consider that random small part, that is like that, and that is the involute profile. Okay, and here I have drawn, that is A, and that is A1, and that is P1. So that is the perpendicular. Okay, and that point P1 is the point on the base circle, and that means this is the normal drawn from the involute profile. The normal drawn from the involute profile will be the tangent to the base circle, because P1 is on the base circle. Okay, so this is basically the normal to involute. This line is the normal to involute, normal to involute. Are you getting my point? I'm going to give you a result. So involute, normal to involute profile. Okay, now this is the differential portion of the circle having the center P1 and radius A1 P1. Okay, that is a differential portion. Okay, we are considering this this is a complete involute profile. So because we are considering this as a small part differential element, so having the radius A1 P1 and the center P1. So here I'm going to write the statement that is very important, that normal drawn at any point on the involute profile. This is an involute profile. See here, this is the involute profile. So normal drawn at any point on an involute profile. Normal drawn at any point. At any point you can draw a normal drawn at any point on an involute curve will be the normal drawn at any point on the involute curve will become tangent to base circle. That is the important statement you must remember. Tangent to base circle, because P1 is a point on the base circle, but this is automatically. Okay, automatically. automatically. So here I am going to say that when you drawn a normal to invalid profile, whether you drawn a normal to that point, normal down to that point, or any other point on the invalid profile, whenever you draw the normal to the invalid profile, that would become the tangent to the base circle automatically. Okay, this statement you must remember. Okay, this will be the tangent to the base circle automatically. Okay, so whenever I draw, if I draw that normal to that point through that point, because this is a basically this is an invalid profile, so wherever I draw a normal to the invalid profile, I will get the tangent that would become the tangent to the base circle automatically. So what is the base circle? We have not seen the base circle in the gear profile when we study gear terminology. I have not shown you the base circle. So I'm just showing you the base circle where it is. See here, this is our gear teeth. Okay, this is our gear teeth, and we all know that when we study gear terminology, we have seen this is the addendum circle. Okay, this is the addendum circle. Pitch circle is somewhere here. Pitch circle is somewhere here. And what is the difference between the addendum circle radius and the pitch circle radius? That is known as the addendum. Okay, and see here, and this is the dedendum circle, which was the lowest circle of the gear. Okay, I already told you when we study gear terminology, this is the dedendum circle, and this is pitch circle, and this is addendum circle. So where is the base circle? See, base circle is between the pitch circle and the dedendum circle. So I am going to denote it as like that. So that would be the dedendum circle. Okay, here there is another circle which is very close to the dedendum circle. Don't be confused with the base circle. Okay, this is not the base circle. Base circle is this. This is the base circle. If you study the gear terminology, you have seen that there is another circle which is very close to the dedendum circle. That is not the base circle. Okay, base circle is there. That is the base circle. And here you can see this is the base circle, and we all know that whenever you draw the normal to the involute profile, that will become tangent to the base circle. That means this is the base circle. Okay, so what is the part of the gear? What is about the part of the gear which is below the base circle? That is the non-involute portion. That portion is considered as non-involute portion. I am going to write here that this is non-involute. This is non-involute portion, and the non-involute portion can never be eliminated. Non-involute portion can never be eliminated. If you are thinking you can reduce the base circle radius, you can see here. If you want to reduce the base circle radius, you can say that, sir, this can be reduced by reducing the base circle radius. No, because we know that there is a pressure angle. I already told you about the pressure angle limitation, that is 20 to 25 degree, maximum 25 degree for invalid profile. So if you reduce the base circle radius, the pressure angle will increase, and but there is a limitation that it can be 20 to 25 degree maximum. So we cannot reduce base circle radius beyond the limit, because there is a possibility of increment of the pressure angle beyond 25 degree. So that is why non-involute portion can never be eliminated. This is for external gears. I hope you will understand the involute profile. Okay, what is the conclusions here? Involute profile, that normal drawn at any point on the involute curve will become tangent to the base circle automatically, and I have shown you where is the base circle in the gear profile. Okay, this is above the dedendum circle and below the pitch circle. And what is the pitch circle? Important points I already written, that this is an imaginary circle. Okay, This is the size of the gear can be specified by the diameter of the pitch circle. Okay, so that's why it is an important circle, and it is the biggest circle of the gear. That is also, and this is addendum circle, and the difference between the addendum circle radius and the pitch circle radius is considered as the addendum. Okay,